Last 17 on the road. The D-backs finally back home here at Chase Field for a while, long enough to unpack anyway. Paul Goldschmidt and company, a 7-game homestand. All starts tonight. The roof and panels open in downtown Phoenix, the first of 3 against the Atlanta Braves before the Mets come in here for 4. Beginning on Thursday, your Arizona Ford starting pitcher for the Diamondbacks, Archie Bradley, his 8th start this year, looking to return to the form he showed before he was struck by that Carlos Gonzalez liner. The process of his development at this level continues.
When you have a bad outing, you want to pitch the next day. You feel like you can go out the next day and pitch better than you did the night before. And so I've just been trying to use the time in between my last couple of starts where I've had some struggles to, try to be a professional, try to learn where I can get better and how I can get better, and then just talk to the guys that have been here and done that, and learn from them and understand how I can make myself better through that.
Well, the issue has been mechanical, not psychological. Let's get that established quickly here as he throws the first pitch of the ball game in there to Jace Peterson. The season on a whole, he has walked nearly as many as he struck out. He's allowed almost as many hits as he's had innings pitched.
And besides the walks, a lot of those 3-ball counts, 2-0 counts where he puts himself in a vulnerable situation, and you can't do that too often at the major league level and get away with it.
Braves 11-6 since Jace Peterson was moved into the leadoff spot. .269 with a homer, the former Padre. Acquired in December as part of the trade that sent Justin Upton to San Diego, and the Diamondbacks go into the overshift with Peterson up there. The left-hand hitter. He hits it into the shift. Goldie bobbles it on the line. Bradley covers, and they retire the Braves leadoff man for the first out. Good recovery there by Goldie.
Nice job. Just keep it in front. Took a little tricky hop, came back and got him in the midsection, but he stays with it, and Archie does his job, gets over there and cover the bag. Pretty routine 3-1 even after the bobble.
So 1 away for the defensive wizard, the shortstop Andrelton Simmons. Archie got the high Sox going again tonight. Simmons at .268, 3 homers. And he comes into this series riding a 9-game hitting streak, and he is batting .375 during the streak, which has raised his average for the year by just over 20 points. The more you see Archie throw strike 1 here and get ahead in the count, the more you're going to like what you see, because that, we've been told, is key for him over and over. Get ahead in counts, stop having to work from behind as much. And Archie has said, in his own words, his goal is just getting back to being more consistent, trying to find the rhythm and the pace and the tempo he had in spring training. On the ground to second, it's by a diving Chris Owings, and into right. Simmons extends his hitting streak. He's now hit in 10 straight. The lineup for Freddie Gonzalez and his Atlanta Braves.
We've seen Peterson at the top. He'll be starting at second base. Simmons at shortstop. Freddie Freeman making his way to the plate right now will be at first base. Nick Markakis out in right field. The former Dodger Juan Uribe at third base. A.J. Przinsky doing the catching. Johnny Gomes out in left field with Todd Cunningham in center, and Alex Wood, the lefty, on the mound.
Here is the young left-hander, Alex Wood. Diamondbacks put the shift back on for big Freddie Freeman, who is hitting just under .290 with 7 homers. His 16 doubles put him only 1 off the league lead. And Freeman's 7th home run of the year came yesterday off the Giants' Santiago Casilla. It really started a 4-run Braves 9th as they came back to win at San Francisco yesterday, 7-5. In fact, Freeman homered twice in that series at AT&T Park over the weekend.
A lot of these Braves coming off the Dodgers-Giants series have not been swinging the bat well. Simmons, one of the guys, he's on first base right now with a leadoff single. Freddie Freeman hit only .208 on that trip, despite the home run you talked about.
Goldie, can they roll the double play here? You betcha. America's first baseman starts the 3-6-3, and Archie Bradley has a quick first inning here as #VoteGoldie starts it off. Diamondbacks coming up against Alex Wood. Well, the D-backs ready to face a Braves team that comes into Chase Field tonight sitting right at 500 for the year, third in the National League East, only 3 games behind the division-leading Washington Nationals. And your Arizona Ford starting pitcher for Atlanta, Alex Wood, 24-year-old left-hander. 3-2 in 9 starts. The ERA right at 3.5. The WHIP is below league average, so he will have traffic around him on the bases. He's a second-round pick out of the University of Georgia 3 years ago. Bob, with a very unusual delivery here.
Yeah, very herky-jerky, very distracting to a hitter if you watch his delivery rather than the release point. But this guy's pretty good. Throws a heavy sinking fastball, a knuckle curve, and a straight changeup.
You see that arm extend behind him.
A little tough to get into a rhythm. You know, there's certain trigger points in every pitcher's delivery where the hitter, okay, now he's ready to deliver. I'm going to get back into a hitting position, but a little tough to do when a guy is all arms and elbows flying at you. He's only had 1 start this year where he's given up more than 3 runs. That was against the Nats. Gave up 5.
And he's up there. I mean, Rick Sutcliffe used to just sort of tuck the ball behind that back leg. He was a right-hander, of course, but he really exaggerates that from the left-hand side. Almost showing the hitter the baseball. 1-2 on a baby-faced Ender Inciarte. Ender, after the 1 for 8 yesterday, shaved it all off, man. Keeps it the other way to Uribe, the former Dodger. Strong throw at third, 1 away. Well, that's a weird sight right there.
It sure is.
Let's take a look at Chip Hale's lineup tonight.
You see Inciarte at the top. He'll be out in left field. A.J. Pollock making his way to the plate. Manning center field tonight. Goldie over at first base. Mark Trumbo out in right field. Aaron Hill at third base. Jared Saltalamacchia doing the catching. Chris Owings at second. Nick Ahmed at shortstop. And Archie Bradley on the mound.
Hashtag vote Goldie. A.J. Pollock jumps on the first one and drops it into right center field. Well, top 10 in the National League in hitting, and the average just went up. He's been crushing lefties this year, AJ, at a 390 clip, and here comes hashtag vote Goldie.
No surprise he's running up to the plate.
When the pitchers start running off the mound, then they'll really have some issues. Goldie at 354. The 3rd best batting average in the major leagues, behind only D. Gordon and Prince Fielder. And AJ has been a terror on the bases lately. He's got 12 steals. Goldie's had 3 hits in each of his last 3 games. He's homered 3 times in his last 2 games. Second in the majors in RBIs, on base percentage, slugging, and OPS. He has been a one-man wrecking crew. And Wood throws strike 1 in there. I showed you those numbers, talked about at that top of the show. In the last 10 years, only 4 players in baseball have had the same numbers through the first 50 games of a season that Goldie has put up this year. It's been that kind of season for him.
Over the course of a season, every player goes through peaks and valleys, but when a great player like Paul Goldschmidt is on top of the peak, you just don't want to miss a pitch.
He is must-see TV. And he's here for a week, so come on down to Chase Field. 3 against the Braves and 4 against the Mets. dbacks.com/tickets. If you go back to the start of the Cubs series at Chase Field, which was last Friday, and then the trips through St. Louis and Milwaukee, look at these numbers. Last 9 games, 486, 5 homers, 11 RBIs, 17 hits in the 9 games. And he's got 12 walks in there, which has raised that on-base percentage up over 600. 1-2. And he needs your vote. Get online. You can vote like 30 times a day.
35, I think.
Yeah, all the voting this year for the All-Star Game is online, and get it out there on the social media with the Twitter and the what have you. You can vote at the ballpark here. Hashtag vote Goldie. 1-2. This is where I really like to watch him, is when he gets way behind in the count, because it's remarkable how often he goes from 0-2 or 1-2 back to 3-2. It's almost impossible to put him away unless you get him to chase, which happens from time to time. Freeman holding Pollock on the bag at first. One away, just underway. Here Chase, and sure enough, there goes AJ. Goldie strikes out. Przinsky can't hang on. That's a stolen base for Pollock, and that's his 13th of the year.
Right field, number 15, Mark Trumbo.
Talked about that road trip and even the Cubs series before. The Cubs are 5th in the National League in team ERA. The Cardinals are number 1 in the National League in team ERA. And of course, the Brewers have their issues with their pitching staff. But to go into those cities and bang around a pretty good rotation and bullpen in St. Louis the way Goldie did, that's impressive.
Any of those 3 games could have easily been Diamondback wins. Trumbo in the cleanup spot tonight. Pollock at second, 2 outs. Shoots it down the right field line. Markakis gives it a look, but it's over the bullpen and in the seats. Allowed strike 1 for Trumbo, who's batting .273. He had 8 hits on the road trip, including 3 home runs.
A couple of 2 irons into the batter's eye in St. Louis, straightaway center field, and then Miller Park yesterday down the right field line, opposite field home.
That was a big one. Led off the 8th inning and tied the game, and then we played a whole lot longer. Another 5 hours or so. 9 homers, now 23 driven in for Mark. Yeah, the official time yesterday and on into the evening in Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Marathon, 5 hours 49 minutes, the longest game in Miller Park history. And Vidal Nuno was terrific last night, even though he gave up the walk-off homer. He was just tremendous. Only 2 hits in 5 1/3, and in that sense did give the bullpen a big-time break.
It's rare that the losing pitcher in an extra inning ball game would be considered the player of the game, but for what Nuno did yesterday, saving that bullpen, he would get my vote.
I mean, Daniel Hudson threw 24 pitches, Andrew Chafin 29, J.C. Ramirez 31, so there are some tired arms back there, there's no question. But Nuno, 92 pitches in 5 1/3, gave up only 2 hits and had 6 strikeouts. Delgado should be good to go. He did not pitch yesterday. Up to the third base line and foul. Vidal Nuno, the second time BB's done this, really saved the day coming out of the back end of that bullpen and pitching almost a complete game in relief.
Well, the last time was in relief of Josh Colmentor, and we talked about it at the time. Josh was the guy that was saving the starters last year and the year before, and this time it was Vidal Nuno saving Josh Colmentor, and yesterday saved the entire staff.
5 1/3, 1 run on 2 hits, walked 3, struck out 6. 0-2 to Trumbo.
I mean, without that performance by Nuno yesterday, we're probably looking at least one roster move to get a healthy arm up here, maybe a couple.
The bullpen has had to work. Some short outings by the rotation. Very early in the year, though, those numbers are skewed just a little bit. It's been much better lately. A lot of that is going to be on Archie tonight. I mean, he's got to do something he hasn't done in 3 starts, and that's get deep into a game. Chip Hale was talking about that. Chip said Archie needs to give the Diamondbacks 6 innings, and said Archie knows it. Simmons is there, and he's got it on the fly. Trumbo lines out to short. Wood strands the 1-out single. No score after 1 here at Chase Field.
Welcome back to Chase Field, where David Peralta is celebrating his 1-year anniversary in the bigs. Peralta told me he's living the dream, and he hasn't forgot last June when he collected his first major league hit. In fact, he has that ball on display in a trophy case at home. But Peralta also celebrating the fact that x-rays are negative after getting hit in the hand yesterday during a foul bunt attempt. He did not fracture anything. There's still a lot of swelling, though, making it hard to throw. However, he can swing a bat and is available off the bench if needed. And coming up later in the game, I'll continue to have some injury updates on some key players that are on the disabled list, but reinforcements, they're on their way.
Yeah, the news has been very good, especially today as Nick Markakis leads off the second. There's a look at the middle finger, a contusion on the left hand for David Peralta after that bunt attempt in the first inning yesterday. Nick Markakis knocks it over the mound and into center, a leadoff single.
On a bunt attempt in the ball game yesterday, trying to bunt against that exaggerated shift, got that middle finger wrapped a little too far around the barrel of the bat, and that was the result right there. A lot of swelling, a lot of bleeding in the tip of that middle finger. Came out earlier today, tried to play a little bit of catch. Couldn't have felt too good, but you know, David wants to get back in that lineup as quickly as possible, so he's just going to grit his teeth and try to throw right through it.
That was May 31st last year when A.J. Pollock was hit on the hand by that Johnny Cueto fastball, and the next day a guy that had not been in big league camp that spring showed up here, and we all said, who the heck is David Peralta? Nobody had seen him except Tony La Russa and the folks down at Mobile, and he came up here and set the world on fire. 0-1 to Big Juan Uribe. 5 for 16, couple of home runs since his trade from the Dodgers last Wednesday. Did not go. That's Jim Reynolds down at first. Uribe has homered in each of his last 2 games. Had 3 hits in their win yesterday at San Francisco, or pardon me, Saturday. They split that 4-game series. Second double play in less than 2 innings behind Archie Bradley, and that'll work.
Number 15,
Taylor made good double play. Always starts with a hard hit ball right at Nick Ahmed. Easy turn at second by CO, and Juan Uribe is not known for his speed, so that turned into an easy double play.
The veteran A.J. Pierzynski, 262, 3 homers, his 29th start behind the plate for the Braves this year. They have Christian Bethancourt, their defensive prospect that they've liked a lot for years now, but he has not hit, and here is Pierzynski, who has hit at least in April. May was a little slower going for AJ. And Archie's ahead 0-2. Pierzynski got off to a great start early in the year, hit safely in his first 13 games to open the season. And into early May, he was hitting .408, but he has really cooled off. He's 2 for his last 22 at the plate. In fact, he homered 3 times in his first 5 games with the Braves, but has not homered since the middle of April. If Archie can put him away here.
But for AJ Pierzynski, that is 14 consecutive opening day starting nods. That's amazing. Started his career with the Twins, spent one quick unmemorable season in San Francisco, and then on to the White Sox, where he really made his name. He's bounced to Texas, to Boston, to St. Louis, and now here in Atlanta. This is one of those guys, if he's on your team, you love him. If he's on the other team, you hate him.
Off the glove of Ahmed behind the bag at second. Almost made a tremendous leaping catch of that line drive, but Pierzynski has a 2-out single.
Shading just a little bit up the middle of the field. Just couldn't quite get to the spot he needed to.
Well, here's another guy you could say the same thing about, BB. We talked about A.J. Pierzynski and his reputation around the league. Johnny Gomes is a Another guy who's been all over the place, just a ball of fire. And he's getting the start in left field tonight.
Nick Ahmed really reacted funny. Watch the end of this play as he goes up and tries to make the catch and then pulls his left arm down into his abdomen. Was cranking his arm around a little bit as he went back to take his position at shortstop. Certainly hope there's nothing wrong with him.
Keep an eye on him. Gomes hitting just over 200 with 3 homers. He is a guy who strikes out a lot. In fact, he's punched out 30 times in 89 at bats this year. By a diving Aaron Hill and down the left field line. And Ciarte plays it in the corner. Brzezinski will stop at third, and Johnny Gomes has his 4th double.
When you talk about guys that are high energy players or the motor of a team, usually you're talking about somebody that's little and gritty and hustles a lot. I think Johnny Gomes is the motor of this Braves team, whether he knows it or not. This guy's been around. He's been on a lot of good teams. He's been a role player pretty much his whole career, and he knows his role with the Braves is come in here and give him a spark, give him some offensive punch.
Well, Archie Bradley had been rolling along after that double play ball. 3 hits in the inning. He's got second and third 2 outs. They'll walk Todd Cunningham intentionally and work to the pitcher Alex Wood, who's on deck. So we came from Milwaukee and the Fonzie statue, and now here's Cunningham.
I think if Archie Bradley was on top of his game, really spotting his fastball and dropping that curveball in there where he wanted, you may attack the number 8 hitter in this situation, but given his recent struggles locating that fastball, you don't want to run the risk of the number 8 hitter coming up with a big 2-out knock when you've got the pitcher in the on deck circle.
And that's something that Mike Harkey has talked a lot about in working so closely over the last few weeks with Archie Bradley. And Hart says, look, he just needs to command his fastball better. He needs to get strike 1 more. He needs to put hitters away in 2 or 3 pitches instead of having to take 5 or 6 to get the guy out. And then the pitch count is off the charts. Brzezinski, Gomes, and Cunningham third to first, 2 down, and here's the pitcher Alex Wood. Off the mound and into center. Brzezinski will score. They will wave Gomes. The throw to Pollock is in at third, and now it gets behind Hill. And here comes Cunningham. Nobody's going to put the brakes on as Bradley comes over to pick it up and back up the play. A single, 2 RBIs for Alex Wood. And the error is going to be on Pollock on the throw from center.
Well, that's just a belt high nothing fastball right in the middle of the plate. Alex Wood was hitting .214 coming into this game, so he can handle that bat a little bit. AJ had a little indecision right there whether to throw home or throw to third. By the time he decides, there's nobody backing up the play at third. For whatever reason, Archie Bradley was on the first base side of home plate right there. I mean, generally on a ball like that where there's multiple runners, one may be scoring, one's going second to third, the pitcher's job is to go over in foul territory on the third base side and read the play. But for whatever reason, Archie was just kind of standing over here on the first base side behind home plate.
So they give Cunningham the free pass to load him up, and it backfires as Wood drives in 2, and here's the leadoff man, Jace Peterson.
I mean, we could talk about fastball command and off-speed command and this and that and the other thing, but you can't just stand out in the middle of the field frustrated with yourself because you gave up a base hit to the opposing pitcher. You've got a job to do, and on that play, his job is to get to the third base side of the field and be ready for an overthrow.
And he still has work to do here with Cunningham at third, Wood at second, and 2 runs in, trying to get that final out and get out of this mess after the Uribe double play ball. And the Braves 2 down and bases empty. And once again, Archie is having trouble early in a ball game. Now remember last Tuesday at Busch Stadium, 6 earned runs, only 3 2/3 innings. He went to 3-ball counts on 5 of the first 10 batters he faced. He's been better today getting ahead in the count, but the pitch count is up again. Peterson grounded out his first time. Roof and panels open. A lovely night here in downtown Phoenix on this June 1st. The Diamondbacks' 50th game of the year. I'd say it's just flying by, but after 17 innings yesterday, not so much. 3-2 now. Peterson, one of the players Atlanta received in return for the big names they moved this winter, and it's worked out very nicely so far. They think he might be the answer to the second base problem that has dragged on for years now in Atlanta. And he's got a 2-out walk, and once again the Braves have loaded the bases.
Bad time to load the bases against any opposing team. You don't want to load them up for the middle of the other team's lineup. Those are the guys that are paid big money to drive in runs.
Cunningham is the runner at third. Wood the pitcher at second. And Jace Peterson with good speed at first. 2 down. Andrelton Simmons singled his first time. And Simmons with that first inning single extended his hit streak. It's now at 10 games. Batting .375 during that streak. A ball and a strike. Archie, after that start last week in St. Louis, said he was frustrated, called his night embarrassing, but said he didn't feel sorry for himself and didn't think anyone else should either. He's just got to go get it fixed and get it fixed quick. But that has not happened here tonight. It's into center again. Cunningham scores. They'll stop Wood at third, and it's 3-0 Atlanta. Simmons 2 for 2.
Now 5 for his last 8 with runners in scoring position, 4 driven in. Now you're getting into the real heart of the Atlanta Braves lineup right here.
Freddie Freeman coming up, the 9th man to hit for Atlanta in the inning.
A lot of these bases right back up the middle of the field. Another grounder. Archie kind of sidesteps out of the way. You can see the frustration there once again on the mound. A lot of pitches right in the middle of the plate and up.
Wood at third, Peterson at second, Simmons at first. They're loaded with 2 outs for Freddie Freeman. And this is trouble. 0-1. Freeman hit into a double play his first time up. He homered twice in their last series at AT&T Park over the weekend.
See Jared Saltalamacchia with the Day Glow fingernail polish on, so Archie Bradley had a little easier time reading the signs back there behind home plate.
One and one. It's a good hitter's park, and this is a good hitter. Misses there, and it's 3 balls and a strike. Goldie at first. And Archie Bradley leaves the bases loaded, but Atlanta gets 3 runs across, and they lead it 3-0. Saturday, June 6th, the FIFA Women's World Cup begins as Alex Morgan leads the U.S. Women's National Team against the best teams in the world in search of their third World Cup title. And the only place you can see the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup is on Fox and Fox Sports 1 beginning June 6th. Diamondbacks with some work to do here, trailing 3-0. Roof and panels open at Chase Field. Bottom second, and Aaron Hill will lead it off against left-hander Alex Wood. Hill, Saltalamacchia, Owings, 5, 6, and 7 in the Arizona second. Aaron Hill batting .243 and 3 homers, and has slumped lately, 3 for his last 29 at the plate. It's a right center field, but Cunningham is there, 1 away. Well, Alex Wood, the good news is, has proven to be much more hittable this year after a very promising rookie season last year. His hits allowed per 9, which was under 8 last season, is well over 10 this year. And he struggled through much of the early part of the year, saying the sinker and the changeup just haven't been there, and those pitches, he says, are his bread and butter. A little better lately. Saltalamacchia. First pitch swinging almost the same spot. This time it's Markakis.
2 quick outs. Let's take a look at our Valley Honda keys to the ball game tonight. Knock on wood. Alex Wood, tough customer out there on the mound. Let's get some hits, and if you do that, Braves will be forced to open the door to that bullpen, which is exactly what you want in this 3-game series. Get into that pen as quickly as possible. Their bullpen ERA just a tick under 5.
2 down for Chris Owings. And Wood, when he was struggling to just kind of get away from his changeup, which was such a big pitch for him, try and rely too much on that fastball. It's not a great fastball. It's not a swing and miss pitch for him. It's just about 90 miles an hour. And so he had some problems putting hitters away. And the hit totals went up. And he does give up his share of base hits. He's allowed more hits than he's had innings pitched this year, but he keeps it in the ballpark. Drives this one to Markakis. 3 fly ball outs. A 1-2-3 second. That's a shutdown inning big time for Alex Wood. He leads it 3-0.
By signing up at one of the 20 interactive kiosks right here at Chase Field during any Diamondbacks regular season home game. Tonight's contestant Diana is a finalist for that Sanderson Ford Mustang at the end of the season.
That's always an exciting day. Get them all out there in the warning track. Got a beautiful new car out there, and somebody drives home.
Yeah, they pass out the keys, and you get to try your key in the ignition. Oh, the suspense.
It's dramatic. Nick Markakis leads off the Atlanta third against Archie Bradley. Markakis singled to lead off the second. It was a 3-run Atlanta second, and a long inning for Archie. And Markakis just over 290 on the year now. He's had 10 extra base hits, all of them doubles. The on-base percentage right now is almost 390, and that would be the second highest mark of his career. He's done a very good job getting on base, always has. But the final piece of his game is yet to return after health issues. That's been the power. It's not been there. He's not homered this season. Goalie has it. Archie covers, one away. Ballpark sliders. Get some of that Chase Field food. It's been a while. 14-17 on the road. Shane Doan is in here taking a selfie.
Wave to the camera.
Juan Uribe. Talk to Donor coming up soon here. It was big for Archie to get a 1-2-3 and then just kind of settle down. Uribe hit into a double play his first time. One and one. Archie now at 50 pitches, 27 strikes. And this is, if you want to sum up Archie's season so far, this is it right here. Look at the difference. First 3 starts, 2-0, the ERA under 1.5. And then the last 3 after the cargo liner, 0-2, the ERA near 12. He has just not been the same guy mechanically out there. 2-2.
Yeah, really would have helped him out had Nick Ahmed been able to catch that A.J. Pierzynski line drive that tipped off the end of his glove. Not a criticism of Nick at all. He tried to do everything he could to get there. My, how that inning turned around. He gave up the leadoff hit to Markakis, quickly got a double play ball by Uribe, and then the little soft liner by Pierzynski gets into center field. After that, Nick had to throw, or rather, Archie had to throw 22 more pitches, gave up 3 hits, 2 walks, and all 3 runs.
It's been tough to go deep into ball games the way that he's had to work that pitch count up there. Archie lost 2 of his 3 starts last month, including his previous timeout Tuesday in St. Louis, when he failed to make it through 4 innings. And he hits Uribe.
That couldn't have felt good. Uribe walks like his feet hurt all the time anyway. It looked like it caught him on the knee outside of that left leg somewhere.
He's got a lot of gear on, and I think he needs all of it.
Hit him on the leg, ricocheted up, got him in the elbow, and then back down and hit him on the leg again.
Human pinball machine. Count 1, 2, 3. It nailed him.
2 cushion bank shot right there for you people that like to shoot a little pool.
Uribe will make his way to first and take his base.
At the plate, catcher A.J. Pierzynski.
So a 1-out base runner for A.J. Pierzynski now. Pierzynski singled and scored a run his first time up. The fly ball, center field. Ahmed drifts way out there to hold that one in, 2 down. And that'll bring up Johnny Gomes.
Left fielder Johnny Gomes.
Doubled and scored a run. Parts of 13 years in the big leagues. He's playing with his 6th team, his first season in Atlanta.
Watch him work that helmet. Sorry, partner. There he goes, right there. Pulls it down, pushes it up. Pulls it down, pushes it up. Everybody has something they like to do in preparation before climbing into that batter's box. Johnny Gomes has his own routine, and part of it is making sure that his eyes are wide open. Pulls the helmet down and pushes it back up.
Well, Johnny Gomes is playing with his 5th team in 5 years. He's become very good at immediately fitting in and impacting a clubhouse culture. He says he's a grinder. He's not picky about the circumstances. In fact, he said, give me any one of the 30 teams and he'll show up ready to work. And he's done that for Freddie Gonzalez this year. Down 0-2.
Now, there's high maintenance players in the major leagues in all sports, I guess. You know, guys that take a lot of coddling and you got to show them some love every other day. Then there's low maintenance players that you worry about a couple times a year maybe. And then there's Johnny Gomes. Just give him a uniform. No maintenance.
He'll be there wearing the uniform at 8 in the morning, ready to go. Freddie Gonzalez told a great story about, still trying to get to know Johnny Gomes, and they opened up against Miami. And the Marlins in a key spot bring in a left-hand reliever to face Markakis and Freeman, 2 of their best hitters. So Gonzalez said when the Miami lefty came in, he turns around and there's Gomes with a bat, a helmet, and gloves standing next to him. And he says, I'm ready. Ready to pinch hit. And, Gomes hits right-handed, of course, so that would make sense, except for the fact that Gonzalez turns to him and goes, you think I'm going to hit for Markakis and Freeman? And he said, Gomes told him, hey, that's up to you, but I'm ready. That's the kind of guy he is.
Oh, yeah.
And Freddie said, you just got to like that. Says he looks like a Neanderthal type, but he's been impressed with Gomes' knowledge of the game and his sense of humor.
He makes his home here in the Valley. Very short, quick, abbreviated follow through. He gets the bat into the hitting zone and not much farther past that.
And he's a winner, a big part of that Red Sox World Series championship club 2 years ago. Homered in the World Series that year. 3-2, 2 outs. Uribe, there he goes. Pop up into that light sky. A.J. Pollock has it. Well, that ends the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd, and Coyote star Shane Doan. Are you done taking selfies? Can we do some TV here? Here he comes. We'll talk to Donor coming up next. Welcome.
Oh, thanks.
How you doing?
Doing well,
You were
thanks.
taking a bunch of pictures over there, top of the inning.
Yeah, they've got me doing this Snapchat. My daughter does it. I've never done it before, but they're
Oh, the Snapchat thing.
Yes. So
I've heard of that. I don't know what it is.
I don't understand it. I thought it was the same as just taking a picture, but it's different.
You got to have your kids teach you all this stuff.
I know. I got a 16-year-old daughter. My daughter Gracie. I pay for it all, so I've started to figure it all out because I'm having to pay for the data.
You got a 16-year-old daughter. You are on the front lines of all that stuff.
I am
right?
full on. We are trying to figure out Tumblr and Snapchat and everything else.
What are you up to these days? This is your downtime. Do you get a chance to relax, or are you out at Diamondback games working out? What's going on?
Yeah, we're working out. We started working out again. JP's got us going pretty good, and we're just enjoying a little bit of family time, being with the kids and being out of the ballgame.
Nick Ahmed leads off the bottom of the third against Alex Wood. Have you seen many Diamondback games this year?
We have. My son Josh, he's a huge Diamondbacks fan, and we always brag that we were neighbors with Bob. So Josh would go to his house to get Halloween. So.
Because he had the big candy bars,
yeah,
right? The full size.
Full size. Dad was, hey, go up that one. Knock on that door. You'll get a full one for Dad.
And after you said that on the air, now I'm obligated to have big candy bars every year. Thank you for that.
I'm surprised you don't hand out pizza. Get an oven going up front.
It's got to be sealed nowadays. You can't just give out slices of pizza. There's none left anyway.
Here's Archie Bradley. Now, I know there's a draft party coming up. I know you're not going to be there, but the Coyotes are going to unveil some new sweaters. You're getting ready for the draft. They got a very high pick there.
Yeah, it's exciting, and I mean, the high pick and the third overall pick. Whenever you're adding a talent like that, you're excited about it. And the new jerseys, I got to see the new jerseys. I'm one of the few people, and they look good. It's similar, but very different at the same time.
Can you give us a hint at all?
I don't think I can.
Yeah, no problem.
Looking forward to that.
It's in the vault.
Yeah.
Second strikeout for Alex Wood. Has retired 7 straight now. And here's Ender Inciarte. Yes, June 26th, Gila River Arena. The new sweaters will be unveiled from 3 to 7. All kinds of Coyote stars there. I'm excited to see Max Domi play.
I'm excited to see him play. That kid he has a lot to add to our team.
Yeah, I've just seen the video of the minor leagues and stuff. It looks sensational.
He is, and what he did for Team Canada was pretty special. The Dvorak kid is really good. No one's really talking much about him, and there's a lot of people excited about him.
Well, every time I go to a Coyotes game, there's like 50 people from Sweden, and they're there to go see Ekman Larsson, and they're wearing those yellow hockey sweaters that the Swedish national team wears, and they're all going crazy for Ekman Larsson.
He is. I wouldn't trade him for one player in the NHL. I mean, wow. I guess, I'm biased, but he is special. He is a special player.
Easy ground out there as Peterson collects it. Donor, thanks so much. I'm sorry I had a quick inning, but we're glad that you stopped by.
Thank you, guys.
Great to see you.
Always good to see you, Bob. Thanks so much.
off for Atlanta.
Hey girls, grab your friends and join the D-backs for Ladies Night, Friday, June 5th here at Chase Field. Each special event ticket pack includes a limited edition D-backs wine glass for a private wine and cheese tasting before the game. That's right up your alley there, BB. Buy your Ladies Night special event ticket now. dbacks.com/event. So a private wine and cheese tasting.
It's very nice for the ladies. Yeah,
very classy. Yeah.
Come on out.
Todd Cunningham leads off the Atlanta fourth inning. Good to see Shane Doan. But another quick inning there by Alex Wood, who's on deck for Atlanta. He's retired the last 8 Diamondbacks he's faced. He's given up only 1 hit, a single. And the D-backs down 3-0, trying to find some offense here to get Archie back in this ballgame.
Donner's going to kill us with suspense about the new jerseys.
Sworn to secrecy. Aaron Hill runs that one down.
Well, whatever it is, going to have to get one. Chance for a bounce back inning here for Archie. He did put a 0 up in the third after hitting Juan Uribe, was able to pitch around that, but now facing the 8-9-1 hitters in the Braves lineup. This is where you want to, you never really have what you would call an easy inning in a ball game. You still have to execute your pitches, but 8-9-1, you should be able to put another 0 up there and avoid the traffic he had on base back in the second inning.
And Wood coming off that 2-run single up the middle, his first time up. There's a strike, 2-1.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations. Boy, there's somebody that's really rooting for 5 runs.
Called strike 3. That's the first strikeout tonight for Archie Bradley.
We all want tacos.
Well, Archie called the days following that last start in St. Louis, as you heard him, really productive. And said he worked with Mike Harkey on the video. They looked at games from earlier this year when he was really pitching well. And then they watched his last 3 starts when he hasn't pitched as well, looking for some differences. And they found one big one. And it was tempo. And they watched how quickly he works at times and thinks that sometimes that just speeds up on him. Archie says his delivery, his time between pitches, that's been the biggest thing. That's been the problem the last 3 starts coming off the DL. He's wanting to pitch so well and get back to where he was before those first 3 starts. And he said he just wants to succeed so much, that tempo, that rhythm out there, just get going way too fast. And he's starting to fall behind in counts now. Shift is on. Owens has it from the outfield grass. And a 1-2-3-4 for Archie Bradley, who is now retired 5 in a row, but trails it 3-0. by your Valley Honda dealers, where you'll get more standard features for less money. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Mix One, great taste, no face, available at local retailers. Beautiful night in Old Town Scottsdale. Diamondbacks are looking for some offense here against young lefty Alex Wood. He's retired 8 straight as A.J. Pollock leads off the Arizona 4th on a gorgeous night here in downtown Phoenix. Roof and panels open. Pollock, Goldie, Trumbo, 2, 3, and 4 for the Diamondbacks against Alex Wood. A.J. has the Diamondbacks' only hit so far, a single in the first. And at .317, he's in the top 10 in the league in hitting. Broken bat, fly ball out to Gomes.
I saw a sliver of bat go twirling down that third baseline into foul territory as Paul Goldschmidt makes his way to the plate. Oh, these are the 3 home runs he hit in that Milwaukee series. Just ridiculous. That one nearly hit the scoreboard in center field.
And this was in the first inning yesterday. Who knew what lay ahead? After that, Diamondbacks had a big lead, 4-0 after 2, but ended up losing in 17. That's in the seats. Let's take a look at our T-Mobile game-changing player. Who else but Goldie? Look at these numbers. These are the numbers for Goldie. .354. 15 homers, 40 RBIs, first 50 games. Over the last 10 years, only 4 players have had those numbers through their first 50 games in a season. That's how good a year he's had.
Yeah, I was there for that Derek Lee season in 2005 in Chicago. It was great numbers, no question. Derek Lee's a great player, but I don't remember him doing as much damage that year as Goldie has done this year, even though the numbers would say he did.
For the right field corner, Markakis on the way. And it's in the Braves bullpen. I just took a selfie with a donor who was in here taking selfies. That's kind of where I got the idea that you can take a selfie with Will Ferrell here at the ballpark. It's sort of, or Goldie. You can walk up there and take a selfie with your favorite D-back personality, the big unit, Hall of Famer Randy Johnson as well. Fool your friends. Gotta get a shot of BB up there. Oh, that's all right. 2-2. That's another case of Goldie being down in the count early and working his way at least back to even. He struck out his first time. Knocks it in front of Markakis, a base hit. And ends a stretch of 9 straight set down by Alex Wood.
Right field. That short swing, that's why he's so effective with 2 strikes. He just doesn't get fooled by pitches. He knows he can be quick with the bat, drive it to the opposite field on those tough pitchers' pitches. And once again, 2-strike base hit into right field.
A 1-out base runner for Trumbo, who lined out to shortstop his first time up. Interesting to see what kind of month Mark Trumbo is going to have. He hit just under .320 in April. That batting average for May dropped to under .240, but he was still very productive. 7 homers last month and more RBIs than he had during the first month of the year when he was in April kind of more polished all-around hitter, used the whole field more. The batting average was up there. In May, more the slugger type. Strikeouts went up, average went down, but the production was there. It'll be interesting to see what kind of month of June he has.
And those numbers could be a result of the way the league adjusted to Mark Trumbo. If you remember back in April, he was getting a lot of fastballs up around the letters, a lot of high fastballs, and he started tomahawking that pitch all around the ballpark. So consequently, teams now trying to stay down, and that's where his power is. Pitches down there around the knees, especially out over the plate, where he can get his arms extended. But early in the season, he was a high ball hitter for average. More recently, the average has dropped, but the power numbers have gone up, and I think it's just mostly because of the location of pitches he's seeing.
1-1.
Straight change up from Wood that time. Gives you a lot of motion out there. Good arm speed. Any changeup has to have good arm speed, and with all that extra herky-jerky delivery that Wood has, it makes it especially tough to time that delivery.
Yeah, he doesn't have much of a fastball. It's 89-90. And when he gets away from that changeup like he did in April, he gets in trouble. Because that fastball is not a put-away pitch for him. And the hit totals went up a bit, but he's been much better lately. 2-2 to Trumbo. That one is smashed to left. Gomes backing up, and he's got it shy of the track. Gave it a ride, he just kind of died up there on him. And that's allowed out number 2.
Another change-up, it appeared, and that time Mark just maybe caught it out toward the end of the bat a little bit. Didn't get the kind of carry it looked like he was going to when he made contact there. Yeah, right out near the end of the bat. And that just took some of the momentum off of that baseball, and it dies on the warning track. Almost to the warning track.
That is a Trumbo home run swing. 2 down for Aaron Hill now. There's a strike, 0-1. It's tough to homer against Alex Wood. He's given up only 2 home runs all year. And he does a very good job of keeping it in the ballpark. And that really does help him go deep into ball games. And he's been sort of the opposite of Archie in that regard lately. Wood has pitched into the 6th inning in 6 of his 9 starts this year.
He's definitely a ground ball pitcher when he's on top of his game. Averages almost 2 ground ball outs for every fly ball out. The fastball has a little tailing, sinking action. We've seen some really good changeups. He's only thrown a couple of curveballs up to this point of the game.
0-2. He has won, Alex Wood, both of his last 2 starts. Don't forget game 2 of the series tomorrow, Fox Sports Arizona. Josh Colmenter and Shelby Miller. Wood beat the Marlins at Miami May 16th. He was a winner at Dodger Stadium last Wednesday. He pitched very well in that ball game in LA. 1 run, 7 hits, 7 innings. He had 6 strikeouts. From Charlotte, North Carolina, pitched in Athens, a Georgia Bulldog. 2nd round pick by the Braves in the draft 3 years ago. He's at 50 pitches, 34 for strikes. Aaron Hill lifts that up to deep center field. Cunningham got a late jump on it, but he's underneath it for the final out. They strand the 1-out single, and we go to the 5th. Diamondbacks trail the Braves 3-0.
Dave Hale was on hand at Salt River Fields this morning to get a good look at both Patrick Corbin and Jake Lamb in their rehab game. Corbin threw 3 2/3 scoreless innings, felt good on the mound. Now the team will keep an eye on how he feels tomorrow, but he continues to progress. Meanwhile, Lamb saw action at third base, and he went 1 for 4 with a triple. No problem with his foot as he was able to leg it out on that triple. He makes the trip to Reno now to finish his rehab stint, and David Hernandez will throw tonight and tomorrow. He looked good after his back-to-back outings last week, and now the team is hoping for more of the same.
Help is on the way. And Jake Lamb, who played third base, had that triple in the dugout. Extended spring. What is extended spring training?
Well, it's just exactly what it sounds like. Guys show up over at Salt River Fields every day. They go through a workout every morning, work on fundamental drills. Pitchers throw their side sessions, batting practice, the whole deal, and then eventually you play a spring training game, an extended spring training game against another organization, and it's kind of like a holding tank almost.
Andrelton Simmons drops one down the right field line. He's in there with a double. That's his 12th double this year. And Andrelton Simmons, who's now got a 10-game hitting streak, is 3 for 3.
Guys who are coming back from injuries go to extended spring to get some at-bats or some innings pitched. As Simmons carves one into right field that time, pitch down over the middle of the plate, inside out swing, gives him his third base hit of the ball game. We're only 5 innings in. Some of the younger players maybe that aren't quite ready to be assigned to a minor league affiliate and go out and start playing real games, they go to the extended spring and work on their craft there. That was a cross up that time. Jared Saltalamacchia almost came up out of his crouch that time. I think he was expecting a fastball. Archie threw a curve. Watch Saltalamacchia start up and then back down. Fortunately able to trap that ball right underneath him there and keep it from going to the backstop.
Keep Simmons at second base. Those two right there were the future of the position in Atlanta for a while in their system. Nick Ahmed and Andrelton Simmons. And of course, Nick came here in the Justin Upton deal. 1-0 on Freddie Freeman, who's 0 for 2. And Freddie Freeman hit 4 homers in his first 11 games of the year, and he looked to be headed toward a breakout season in terms of the power. But he has homered only twice since. The power is back. 5-0 Atlanta.
Partner, when the Cubs were in town, we said that Anthony Rizzo was kind of a left-handed version of Paul Goldschmidt. I think Freddie Freeman is probably a better comp just based on their swings. Very, very quick bat for both of the big guys. Oh, no doubter here. Freeman hit that ball a ton.
Well, I should correct myself. He homered twice in that series over the weekend at AT&T Park. A home run Friday and another home run yesterday. 104 miles an hour off the bat today. And so the home run pace has picked up considerably after Freeman started off hot. And he's found the power stroke again. 5-0 Braves. Markakis still looking for his first home run this year. Backs up into right, he runs it down. Just shy of the warning track. Let's go head to head now with these updated numbers on Paul Goldschmidt and Freddie Freeman.
Since the beginning of the 2011 season. Yeah, very, very similar, almost identical.
Well, Freeman said, you know, the power is going to come around. It always does. He's very consistent with his production. The numbers are always there at the end of the year.
It seems like Freddie Freeman's been around for a while. He's only 25 years old.
Well, he didn't come cheap. An 8-year, $135 million contract. He's in the second season of that deal. And he's really become a $20 million a year guy over the last 5 years of that contract. But to this point, certainly, he looks like he's going to be worth the money. Uribe will get a new bat. He's in there with a count of 1-2 strikes. A lot of people in Atlanta were wondering, where's the power from Freddie? Hadn't hit home runs. What's going on? Well, it comes in cycles, I guess, and he's on a hot streak right now. And he said it was interesting. He said, obviously, being a first baseman, you're kind of expected to hit home runs. And he admitted that got into his head a little bit. Uribe drives this one to deep center, but Pollock is there. And he looks to have sorted out his issues.
I'd say so.
He's already played, Freddie Freeman, 4 full seasons in the big league, still shy of that 26th birthday. And he's averaged 21 homers and 85 RBIs a year. He's been an all-star each of the last 2 seasons. Here's A.J. Pierzynski.
This is where the veteran A.J. Pierzynski looks for something middle of the plate in, tries to lift it in the air to right field. Normally just sprays the ball around the ballpark, but when he gets counts in his favor, he'll look to turn on one. Another pitch down and out of the zone.
A 4-pitch walk with 2 outs. And this is the kind of thing that extends pitch counts and shortens outings.
And that appeared to be one of those at-bats we were talking about earlier, where he just gets so quick. Get the ball back from the catcher. He's ready to throw the next pitch before Saltalamacchia even hangs a sign. We saw Wade Miley do that from time to time out there on the mound. A very fine line between staying in a nice pace or working too quickly.
Well, Stottlemyre Jr. answering the bullpen phone as Johnny Gomes steps in. He's 1 for 2 with a double. Sanderson forward bullpen, the left-hander Oliver Perez. A lot of left-hand bats at the top of this order for Atlanta. Peterson, Freeman, Markakis, Pierzynski. And so Perez is warming up. He did not pitch in yesterday's Milwaukee Marathon. Bounce to third, Aaron Hill. Freddie Freeman, his 8th of the year. Braves tack on 2 more, and they lead it 5-0.
minor league baseball history. June 1st, 2007, Mississippi Braves manager Phil Wellman goes on a tirade after being ejected. He drew a huge home plate, indicating how big the strike zone was. He stole third, fired it out into center field, snuck up behind the mound, grabbed the rosin bag, treated it like a hand grenade that he threw at the umpire, and then took second and third base home with him.
It says he's managing the Angels Double-A team right now. You'd think he'd be working as a night watchman or something after that show he put on. We're going to check that.
That was one of the better tirades. That made the rounds.
Jared Saltalamacchia. Diamondbacks with just 2 hits. They trail at 5-0. I mean, you really would have had to have some pent-up frustration to let it all out like that.
Boy, and it can happen at the minor league level. You know, they work 2-man umpire crews, and you get the same guys over and over again. You develop a history, either good or bad, against those guys. And
Salty lines it off the glove of Uribe at third, and in the left field corner, and Jared Saltalamacchia is in at second with his second double this year.
5 runs is not an insurmountable lead the way the Diamondbacks have been pounding the ball lately. Saltalamacchia got a little change up there, reached out and just did get it over the head of Juan Uribe into left field for a double.
Brings up Chris Owings. CO flying out his first time.
Called strike there. AJ didn't do his pitcher any favors that time. We talk about framing pitches. Watch the way AJ catches this one. Takes a pitch right on the bottom of the strike zone and pushes it down to the ground.
And we have confirmed that Philip Wellman is not managing the Arkansas Travelers in the Angels system. That was on the interweb. Then again, so was Goldie owning the Milwaukee Brewers, so it's a good point. You never know what's going to be on there. Oh, 0-2. Owings trying to extend what is a modest 4-game hit streak. Came into the ball game at 240 on the year. Salty at second after the leadoff double. Tell you what, between Saltalamacchia and Pierzynski, this may be the most I don't know, vowels we've ever needed for a catching matchup.
Good Scrabble game for those two guys.
And you throw down Pierzynski in a Scrabble board, you should retire.
I just write salty in my scoreboard.
Come on out to the ballpark. Diamondbacks here all week long. dbacks.com/tickets. 3 against the Braves and 4 against the New York Mets. And we should see Matt Harvey, the Dark Knight, in that series against the Mets.
Watch out, Andy Green.
Quick feet down there. Hey fans, MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years. You can watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. You'll get real-time highlights, live look-ins, the pitch tracking widget, and a whole lot more. Blackout rules do apply, so check MLB.TV for all the details. Wood at 60 pitches, 41 strikes, 1-2 to Owens. Able to hold up there. How about the hops on Andy Green? The quick feet.
The runner at second base, you need to get down that line just a little bit more, so if Chris Owings hits a ball into the outfield, Andy Green can lead Salty around the bag at third and either send him on in or stop him, but put you in harm's way down there very close to home plate.
Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming up. Called strike 3. Third strikeout for Alex Wood.
Caught guessing on a 2-strike count. Took the fastball right down the middle of the plate.
Well, Oliver Perez is still ready in the Diamondbacks bullpen. Pitcher spot is due up next, and Yasmani Tomas has come out in the on-deck circle. So it looks like that'll be it for Archie Bradley. 5 innings, 5 runs, 8 hits, 3 walks, and 1 strikeout for Archie. Nick Ahmed lined out to second his first time up. Bunt for a base hit. And he's going to get there. Wow. Boy, he has been something lately. 6 hits in 6 games on the road trip, including 2 doubles and 2 homers, and the bunt becoming a bigger part of Nick's arsenal as well.
This is absolutely perfect. Watch that ball just get out into the grass and die. No play for anybody that time. Bunts it out near the end of the bat. Good angle on the bat to push it down that third base line, and it just dies on the grass. Uribe is not playing way back. He's a step or 2 behind the baseline, but it wouldn't have mattered even if he was playing in. That's a base hit right there.
And 2 on with 1 out for Yasmani Tomas, who hits for Bradley. So Archie's night ends here. Tomas 320, a homer. He's got 18 RBIs. And took a 1 for 7 in the 17-inning game at Milwaukee yesterday. Struck out 3 times. Saltalamacchia at third, Ahmed at first. And the strikeouts have started to pile up a bit lately for Yasmani. 13 punch-outs in his last 9 games. There's Archie. After what I'm sure he will consider another disappointing effort. And as the process continues. Scout, draft, develop. That's the key to sustained success, and this is part of development. The lessons learned along the way for a guy who's still just 22. Drives the 0-1 in the seats, and Tomas quickly down. No balls and 2 strikes. He is 1 for 12 since the 11-game hitting streak ended. One and 2. See Cunningham in center, shaded over near the pool. A ton of room in left center field for Yasmani Tomas. And if he can find a gap in there, Ahmed should be able to score easily from first.
Yasmani has been pulling enough balls recently that teams can't shift to the opposite field against him. You'll see a slight shift in the outfield, but the infield has to play him straight up.
Snap back to the mound, and they get Saltalamacchia all hung up, and he's going to make it back to the bag, and the Diamondbacks have the bases loaded. He was an absolute dead duck. Salty ran himself into an easy out there, and Atlanta just cannot convert.
Tapper back to the mound right there. Salty realizes he's going to be out to dry at home plate, so he holds up. I'm not sure why AJ didn't throw that ball to Juan Uribe. You can see Uribe was well short of the bag at third.
He's calling for it, Uribe.
Yeah.
Maybe he thought because Uribe seemed to be directly in front of Saltalamacchia, maybe a throw hits him in the shoulder.
It could be, and Simmons had a long way to go to get over there and be on the base. Very strange looking play there.
So they're loaded for Inciarte. There's the strike. Saltalamacchia is the runner at third, Ahmed at second, and Tomas at first. A chance here for the Diamondbacks to get right back in this thing. After a gift from the Braves, and Ender, a clean-shaven Ender Inciarte, after his 1 for 8 yesterday. He has shown a consistent ability to hit left-hand pitching. And he sends this one to the gap in left center. Cunningham is there. Saltalamacchia tags Ahmed to third. And Tomas gets himself thrown out at second. They do score the run. The run counts. Diamondbacks are on the board, but they give away an out at second base right there. And that ends the inning. The corners with 2 outs for Pollock and Goldie coming up, and Yasmani Tomas runs himself into an out at second to end the inning there.
Leading off for Atlanta, center field, John Cunningham.
Now remember, Saltalamacchia has to cross the plate before Tomas is out at second base. This is all synced up with the cameras, and I'm not sure that he did. But the run counts. It's 5-1.
Nice relay there by the shortstop. Andrelton Simmons at his back to the infield was probably just listening for a verbal command from one of his teammates behind him.
All right, here's a better angle. Right there's where the foot is on the plate. Yeah, the run clearly does score there from that angle.
Very close, but he's safe. That's why you got to go hard all the time scoring from third base. You never know what those trail runners are doing behind you.
So Oliver Perez, the new pitcher for the Diamondbacks, he'll work to Todd Cunningham. But the D-backs had a run in, would have had runners in the corners for their best hitters coming up. But instead, it's the end of the inning. The numbers on Oliver Perez this year, his 25th appearance. And Cunningham, a switch hitter, will now turn around and bat from the right-hand side. And he has really slumped lately. He has 1 for his last 26 at the plate. There's not been much power here, just 3 extra base hits. And he's not hit very much from the right-hand side. He's been used almost exclusively as a left-hand hitter this year, running different guys in and out of the Atlanta outfield. But this is a guy they like. Switch hits, versatile, plays both corner outfield spots. He's played a lot of center in the minors, and he's in center tonight. They hit him on a 1-2 pitch.
Pitcher Alex Wood.
On that left calf area. Just a 4-seam fastball trying to hit that inside corner. Hung on a little bit too long.
The pitcher Alex Wood now, a 2-run single in the second. He struck out looking his last time up. And he'll try and move Cunningham along here. Perez is on it, tags him out, and the runner advances 1 away. That'll bring up the top of the order Jace Peterson, the second baseman.
Jace Peterson.
And second base has been an issue for years now in Atlanta. Freddie Gonzalez quickly apparently became a Peterson fan, played him a lot in spring training, and he's done a good job out there since coming over from the Padres in the Upton deal.
And not uncommon to see a left-handed hitter, especially a top of the order kind of a guy, show bunt against a tough left-handed pitcher. Peterson looking to bunt for a base hit right there against Oliver Perez.
Jace Peterson, a former supplemental first-round pick by the Padres out of McNeese State, where he was a very good football player as well. Spent most of last season in the Padres minor league system, AAA El Paso, and hit just over 300. 2-0. There goes Cunningham. The throw is there is no throw from Salty. And Todd Cunningham has his second stolen base.
Now, to say they've had a roster makeover is the understatement of the year. Since June of 2014, these players have left the Atlanta Braves. I mean, that's a pretty good core group of players to start a team with. If you were having an expansion franchise, you'd take those guys. A couple of them still getting paid by the Braves, including Dan Uggla.
The pieces they've brought in have, for the most part, played very well. Jace Peterson's done a good job at second base. Maybe not in the lineup tonight, the former Padres. Really solidified center field for them. Nick Markakis has done a terrific job. And they're building a new ballpark. 2017 it's supposed to open up in North Atlanta. And they hope by the time that that ballpark is ready, the team is ready as well. They've got some good young players. Boy, that is a great job by Peterson to just shoot that the other way down the left field line and keep it fair. And he hustles into second. The throw rolls away, but it's backed up. And Peterson is in there. Cunningham scores. 6-1 Braves.
Hell yeah.
We're talking about protecting a plate. Sweeping breaking ball working its way away from Peterson. Just throws his hands at the ball right there and shoots it right down that third base line. Paul Schreiber had to get out of the way while he was making the call. Ender hustles over there, makes a nice throw to second. Not sure what happened to CO out there. Looked like he just missed that ball.
A double and an RBI for Peterson, his fourth double. 6-1 Braves, their ninth hit. And here's Andrelton Simmons, who's 3 for 3. Easy, big fella. Up there in the draft room, high above right field, a great view up there. All kinds of different craft beers.
Seemed like a good idea at the time to order 3 orders of nachos.
It always does.
Oh, yeah, he can handle it.
He's a Sun Devil. Well, I crushed some of that Miller Park food. That food in Milwaukee is right up there with Philly. brats, the hot dogs with the onions, the popcorn, the whole thing.
Cheese curds.
Oh. On the ground, Owings at second. Peterson moves to third, 2 down. Brings up Freddie Freeman, who launched one out of here in his last at bat, his 8th of the year.
Pitchers at home look away. Ooh. The swing is so quick. That's what makes it so impressive, how fast he gets that bat through the hitting zone on a pitch down and in.
He homered Friday, he homered yesterday, and he's homered tonight. One and one. That was just belted into right field. 7-1 Braves as Peterson scores. 2 hits and 3 RBIs so far for Freddie Freeman. Boy, when he barrels it up, it just makes one of those sounds. Crack.
Now 3 for 3 lifetime against Oliver Perez.
Nick Markakis now. Markakis 1 for 3, a single in the second. Markakis, another guy, one of the new faces brought in from Baltimore, and off to a good start his first season with the Braves. Just missed Manny Gonzalez, the second base umpire. He knocks it into center field. Markakis 2 for 4. Bullpen still quiet for the Diamondbacks, and with the way everybody worked yesterday in Milwaukee as Mike Harkey comes out there, Ollie might have to wear it for a while.
Yeah, sometimes that's what it takes. You have to look at the big picture. Of course, you want to win every ball game every day you go out there, but occasionally, especially after a 17-inning game the day before, you look up at that scoreboard in the top of the 6th inning, you're trailing by 6 runs already. You don't want to exhaust an already exhausted bullpen. Sometimes somebody just has to take one for the team.
2 on and 2 out for Uribe, who's 0 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch. The newest Brave, traded to Atlanta from the Dodgers last Wednesday as part of a 6-player deal. Freeman is at second and Markakis at first. Alberto Callaspo and Eric Stoltz were among those who went to Los Angeles in the Uribe trade. He was hitting just under .250 with a homer with the Dodgers this year. But he's homered in each of his last 2 games. So the trade may have energized him a bit. This was the deal. Chris Withrow was a first-round pick by the Dodgers. The pitchers had some injury issues lately. In fact, Uribe had a huge postseason against the Braves last year in the division series. Went 6 for 16, couple of home runs, including the one that clinched the series for the Dodgers and beat Atlanta last year. But he's in the second season of a 2-year, $15 million deal the Dodgers gave him. So apparently he'll just play that out in Atlanta, and then we'll see. He's 36 years old.
And still a real good glove man down there at the hot corner. Strong throwing arm. Maybe doesn't have the range he once had, but anything he can get to, he sucks up like a vacuum cleaner.
Another 0-2. Yeah, Uribe, after the trade to Atlanta was announced, was asked by some of the LA media what he would miss about playing for the Dodgers, and he got so emotional that he could only point to his former teammates in the clubhouse and then had to excuse himself. And Don Mattingly has insisted that Uribe never fell from grace in LA, never did anything wrong. And Uribe would only say, one day you're here, one day you're not.
Well, and Justin Turner was playing well for the Dodgers, swinging the bat well, a little younger, a little cheaper.
Yeah, they have a lot of options at third base, certainly with Guerrero doing so well. And they've got, of course, Kyle Seager's brother Corey coming up, their top position prospect, which is a guy who might be the third baseman down the road. He's coming up as a shortstop. Meanwhile, it's still 0-2 on Uribe. He's as tough an out as ever. Battled injuries last year, barely played in 100 games in LA. Had a hamstring problem near the end of May, missed more than 30 games, and then re-injured the hamstring middle of August and missed another 2 weeks. The Dodgers, for their part, say Juan Uribe bobblehead day, scheduled for July 11th, will go on. As finally Uribe strikes out. But the Braves get 2 more. Bottom 6 on the way. They lead it 7-1.
As we get you set for Diamondbacks Live, our post-game show, and you know what, we talked about it on the pregame, Brandon. We hoped we had seen, you know, Archie Bradley revert back to that form the first 4 starts of the year, but unfortunately it was more of the same tonight. I know you're going to break that down on the post-game show.
Yeah, another tough outing, like you said, unfortunate. I was really hoping to see him bounce back, get some confidence, and start rolling again, but we'll break down his performance tonight in the post-game.
And still plenty of game left. We hope to see the D-backs offense come alive. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you, guys. The pitcher tonight to watch has been lefty Alex Wood. So far, he's given up only 4 hits, 1 run. And he'll work to the heart of the Diamondback order here in the 6th. A.J. Pollock, Paul Goldschmidt, and Mark Trumbo, 2, 3, and 4. A.J. has singled and flied out. He's 1 for 2. Had 7 plate appearances yesterday in Milwaukee. And what a game for Pollock. 3 hits. He walked twice. Wound up a homer shy of the cycle. And he's at .316 for the year.
And one thing that would really help the D-backs offense, they make Wood work a little bit more. 6 or more pitches only 3 times, 4 or 5 pitches 6 times, and 3 or fewer pitches 10 times already in the ball game for the D-backs offense.
Down the right field line, and that ball will not stay fair. It's off the bullpen wall for a Loud strike 2. Yeah, Wood at one point retired 9 straight.
He's glad to be out of the South. This is a guy that pitches much better on the road than he does at home. 3 starts at home. He's 0-2 with an ERA over 6, averaging just over 5 innings per outing. On the road, 6 starts, 3-0 with a 2.37 ERA, averaging over 6 innings per outing on the road.
Fourth strikeout for Alex Wood. 3 of them, the last 3 in fact, have all been looking.
Good off that plate. I've talked about it before. That pitch inside, especially inside and down. Hitters get a real good look of where it is in relation to the inside corner of the plate. And that time AJ was sure that ball was off the plate, and I think he was right.
Goldie has struck out and singled 1 for 2. 3 homers in the last 2 games, now at 15 on the year. Hashtag vote Goldie. 2015 All-Star Game from Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, only on Fox. Fielding Culbreth, the crew chief, is our plate umpire tonight. The Churro Dog, that's an all-star snack.
Snack?
Yeah, between meals. That's a week of calories for some people. 2-2. But he can only get it right here at Chase Field, and it's a good time to come on down. 7-game homestand. 3 against the Braves and 4 against the New York Mets. So we'll be here all week. Hashtag vote Goldie. And this is where he ranks among National League first basemen, which is first, and it's where he should be in the voting. But he's, at least in the first results, the first wave of results issued and made public, he was 3rd behind Gonzalez and Rizzo. Drives it to center. Cunningham. 2 down.
Right field, Mark Trumbo.
Brings up Mark Trumbo, 0 for 2. Watch Wood's reaction.
Hanging changeup, up and out over the plate. Fortunately for Alex Wood, Goldie caught it out near the end of the bat a little bit, much like Mark Trumbo did his last time to the plate. Caught one off the end of the bat, got out there to left field, and just died on the track.
We're talking about how the Braves are building for that 2017 season when they get their new ballpark. And Wood figures to be a big part of that. Just 24 years old. And a good first full season in the big leagues last year. An easy 5 ball to Markakis. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Alex Wood, who's rolling along with a 7-1 lead. 2017 and SunTrust Park. This is what the new Braves ballpark is supposed to look like when it debuts in the 2017 season. Way up there north of Vinings, if you're familiar with the Atlanta area, right on the perimeter, northern part of the area. SunTrust Park.
Some very stylish fans there, all dressed up.
So it looks lovely, that's for sure. See how the traffic works out when you build something on the perimeter there in Atlanta. It's always dicey. A.J. Pierzynski leads off the 7th against Oliver Perez. Pierzynski has singled and walked tonight. He's 1 for 2. Yeah, the new ballpark is replacing, of course, the one that was originally built, people forget, for the Olympics in 1996. And then turned into Turner Field.
I still miss old Fulton County Stadium.
Which was in the parking lot, right, of where the Turner Field is right now.
What a launching pad that was.
They called it that, didn't they? A launching pad?
A lot of it had to do with the pitching staffs they had.
Give me another ball.
Good place to hit.
Well, it's so much of the population in the Atlanta area and the suburbs lives north of the city. And so if you want to go to a Braves game right now, let's say you work downtown someplace, you got to fight the traffic to get home, which is a bear. The traffic in Atlanta is just a nightmare. So you got to leave work, drive up north to your house, get the kids, change, then drive back down to downtown and all the way through downtown, in fact, to get to Turner Field. And it's just a battle, man, to get there and in and out of that ballpark. There's not a whole lot of parking around it. It's not great. And it's kind of a pain in the neck. So they are moving the ballpark north to where they say all their fans are and try and make it an easier commute for their fan base. Johnny Gomes.
I thought they moved the ballpark north to get closer to some fishing holes, because there certainly aren't any in downtown Atlanta, I'll tell you that.
Well, you can go fishing in Buckhead, but that's of a different sort. 2-0. Right center field. Andrew Pollock.
Now watch Johnny Gomes swing here. Watch how quick his follow through is. Just stops about 3/4 of the way through the swing. A lot of guys would get hurt if they tried to stop that swing right there, but he's a big, strong guy.
2 down for Todd Cunningham. Braves were trying to figure out who would play where in their outfield with all these new guys, and they had some injuries. They had a lot of trades, and Cunningham ended up with a chair when the music stopped, which was nice for him. And he admitted, look, maybe I'm not the sexy pick or whatever, but he said he felt like he can bring a lot of value to the team. He's not gifted with unbelievable pop, doesn't have blazing speed, but he's a good defender, switch hits, and does a nice job. And he can fill a role for them off their bench, the occasional start like he's getting tonight with Cameron Maybin having the night off. He did not play in the major leagues last year. Cunningham was at AAA Gwinnett. Hit .287 with 8 homers, stole 19 bases. It's one of those guys that does several little things pretty well. And you need those guys over 162 games.
Maybe not what you would expect from a second-round draft pick, but he knows his strengths and weaknesses. He was voted the best defensive outfielder in the system.
Out of Jacksonville State. And of course, the Major League Baseball first-year player draft is 1 week from right now.
Yeah.
We'll be in Los Angeles. The Diamondbacks have the first overall pick. And that group has been very busy. Dave Stewart, Deshaun Watson. Talked to Gonzo today. Gonzo's been everywhere watching these guys play. He's seen all of them. Called strike 3. Second strikeout for Oliver Perez, who works a 1-2-3 7th. We stretch. Diamondbacks down 7-1. Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you in part by Papa Murphy. Love at 425 degrees. And by Tire Pros. For the best selection of Continental and General brand tires, visit one of 22 locally owned Arizona Tire Pros locations. Chase Field, bottom 7 coming up. The view from the press box. If you've ever wanted to be a sports writer, this is your seat right here. And that's the timer, the guy that times all the stuff, the official MLB person who times the breaks and makes sure everything moves along here. So by the time we come back from commercial, we're ready to throw the first pitch just like that. The game moves along. And it's worked really well so far. Games keep getting shorter and shorter here as we get deeper into the season and everybody acclimates to the new rules and learns what's expected of them. Aaron Hill down quickly, 0-2. So you have the clock, which is one behind home plate and one out in the outfield in every major league ballpark. And as soon as one inning ends, or one half inning, the clock starts and the countdown begins.
Hey fans, when the D-backs win, you win at Papa John's. The day after every Diamondbacks win, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com. And there's no timer on that, whenever you feel like it.
Good point. There's always time for Papa John's. But that timeline deal's worked out nicely. It's a very specific timeline. As we count down between innings. Cunningham makes a nice running catch. Sit on it, Potsy.
We just mentioned he was voted best defensive outfielder in the Braves minor league system last year, and he makes a nice running catch coming straight in, gets the glove underneath the ball, manages to hang on as he crashes to the turf out there in center field. Yeah, pitchers always appreciate that. Guys leaving their feet, jumping through flaming hoops to make plays behind you.
Jared Saltalamacchia has the Diamondbacks' only extra base hit. Just 4 hits so far and given up by Alex Wood. Saltalamacchia doubled and scored his last time up. And the funny thing about Wood, he's supposed to be a real good ground ball pitcher. He's got a good sinker that he relies on, along with that changeup that's also a ground ball pitch for him. But he's had a ton of fly ball outs here tonight.
Yeah, really unusual.
He's only given up 2 home runs all year.
He only has 2 ground ball outs tonight.
It's crazy. This is his 10th start. But he doesn't usually pitch like this. The last 3 outs have all been fly ball outs. And it looks like he's getting a little erratic here as he hits 90 pitches.
It seems like with his exaggerated mechanics, especially out of the windup, as you get a little fatigued later in the ball game, it would be hard to repeat those mechanics.
Kakis, there's another fly ball out. I hear somebody walking down the hall. Yeah, that's the hallway to our booth right here. We're coming up on the right. There's the Joe Garagiola Jr. or Joe Garagiola Sr. I should say. Montage of all his great moments throughout his great career, baseball and otherwise, television. Johnny Carson broadcasting games, NBC, Tony Kubek. It's all up there. The Today Show. All of Joe's great accomplishments in this business. And if you take a right, that's where we are. See if our somewhat reliable staff can open the door as I continue to drop less than subtle hints. That's a fair ball down the right field line. Chris Owings. And that fan reaches out and touches it, so CO will stop at second with his 7th double. And so if you walk inside down the hallway, take that right there. And here we are. That's our view. And it's not a bad one. Hello. Thanks for stopping by.
There's security when you need it.
I'm handed some vital information here. What did Letterman always do? He did the thing where the Mets series, we have some starters announced. Matt Harvey, that's the one you really want to be at Thursday here. Matt Harvey for the Mets. Jonathan Neese on Friday. Bartolo Colon, who doubled his last start Saturday. Come out to watch Bartolo Colon run the bases. That's always entertaining.
That's worth the price of admission in and of itself.
And then that outstanding youngster DeGrom pitches Sunday for the Mets. So some really good pitching out here. He had a no-hitter through 5 in San Diego going.
Yeah, Mets are half a game behind the Nationals in that National League East going into play tonight. And they're putting a whooping on the Padres right now, 6-0.
Another fly ball out for Alex Wood. His last 5 outs have all been of the fly ball variety. And as we head to the gate, the Diamondbacks are down 7-1. Sports 1 is back. The Rangers and the Royals, and then it's baseball night in America as the Angels square off against the Yankees. Coverage starts at 10:30 in the morning on your home for baseball every Saturday, Fox and Fox Sports 1. This is the home with a crew that runs the scoreboard here. DBTV, the great Steve Miller. Hello, there he is. Left of your screen behind him, supervising Steve because he really does need constant supervision. The great Steve Silvertooth. Thumbs up. The Dow of Steve in the DBTV booth right now.
Dan was the only one doing any work in there.
Well, that's generally the way it goes. These are the folks that put together all the great packages and all the video montages, all the audio clips, everything you see here on the DBTV board out there in center field here at the ballpark, and they do a wonderful job.
They're like air traffic control here at the ballpark.
All that stuff, they're responsible for all that stuff. It's all got to be correct, all updated as the game progresses here. You got to get the promos in there, the defense. Oops, there's a new shortstop. Got to get that up there, all that stuff. And they're busy. And here is Alex Wood, who's pitched a beauty of a ball game here tonight. 1 run, 5 hits through 7 innings, and he leads off the 8th. He's even got a 2-run single tonight. By the way, I should note our increasingly less reliable staff member pointed out that we're talking about DeGrom pitching Sunday here. He had a no-hitter tonight that was just broken up against the Padres.
Bottom of 6 now.
3rd strikeout for Oliver Perez. 1 away to open up the 8th. Hey fans, enter now for your chance to win a trip to the MLB All-Star Game, only on Fox for you and 3 of your friends. Just upload 2 photos at foxsports.com/Fantastic All-Star now through June the 3rd. And maybe you'll get a trip to Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. Chase Peterson.
When I get off of this mountain, you know where I want to go? Straight down the Mississippi River to the Gulf of Mexico to Lake Charles, Louisiana. That's where Jace Peterson is from.
I didn't know where we were going there.
Up on Cripple Creek.
We ended up in Lake Charles. That's all right. 1st round pick out of McNeese State by the Padres in the draft 4 years ago.
Slow breaker that time from Ollie. Took a little off. Drops it in there on that inside corner for the swinging strike.
Yeah, Peterson was a good football player at McNeese State, a defensive back. But then he got drafted in the 1st round by the Padres and said, you know what, I'm done with football.
Good choice.
Yeah.
People trying to knock your head off. Well, he actually knocked other people's heads off, I guess, as a D-back.
Now hitting against the D-backs. 1 and 2. Ollie at 50 pitches. Listed in the air to Inciarte. Well, here's maybe my favorite person in the ballpark is Peggy. She is a constant source of support for me, always giving me advice, tips on how to broadcast games. She runs all the press room food, and she is a powerful, powerful VIP here in the organization. Don't mess with her.
No.
Or Andy. You know, if I don't mention Andy, he'll get very upset. Her husband Andy. And they are a dynamic duo. They're great baseball fans. We see them at Diamondback games on the road all the time. They're at Fall League games all the time at Salt River Fields. They go to spring training games whenever they can. They're terrific baseball fans. Andrelton Simmons has had a big night. And so a big hi to Peg, and don't forget Andy. I want that on record. We said hello to Andy because Andy and I actually had a bit of a tiff there for a while. We weren't speaking, but we worked it out.
Well, I know Peg lets you steal some straws from the lunchroom in there for your big gulps that you bring into the booth.
Yeah, I got to have the straws and the whole thing. Yeah. Well, that was a problem 17 innings yesterday in Milwaukee, as we found out. Simmons strikes out. 4 strikeouts for Perez. 7-1.
D-backs live right after the game. And Brandon, we talked a lot in the pregame about this D-backs offense, and why not? They had homered in 9 straight games, but tonight against Alex Wood, they're not able to really get any good contact. He's been pretty effective tonight, hasn't he?
He's been very effective. He's keeping the ball down. When it's kind of odd that he's getting so many fly balls, but definitely keeping the ball down, using a changeup and breaking ball to his good effect, but doing a great job of keeping him off balance.
We'll look forward to your breakdown, not only of Alex Wood, but of course Archie Bradley's struggles, all coming your way right after the game, guys.
Thanks, guys. Jordan Pacheco will hit for the pitcher, Oliver Perez. And Alex Wood working on a complete game. 1 run on 5 hits so far, and he's just about at 100 pitches. Braves bullpen is quiet. Jordan 2 for 10 as a pinch hitter this year with 6 strikeouts. Diamondback Live postgame show. Jody Jackson, Brandon Webb follows our ball game. Reaction from the clubhouse. You think any of this is a Milwaukee hangover?
It could be. I mean, it's hard to say what effect a 17-inning, nearly 6-hour ball game will do to a team, especially on getaway day. You're so anxious to get going. You've got your luggage packed. You check out of the hotel. You go to the ballpark. And then the way that game went, they had an early lead. It looked like they were going to cruise and sweep the series after getting swept in St. Louis. And then obviously things turned out the wrong way. It made that flight a little bit longer coming back from Milwaukee last night.
Yeah, it was a long, tired flight, 14-17 on the road. We went to Philly, went to Miami, 3 quick ones here against the Cubs, and then right back out there. St. Louis and Milwaukee, so it's been a long haul here the last couple of weeks. And Jordan has worked the count full now, 3-2.
I think the hangover has more to do with Alex Wood and the pitches he's made in this ball game tonight, adding and subtracting. Fastball touching 90 at times. Real good straight change up. Haven't seen a lot of breaking balls. Hasn't needed a lot of breaking balls. He's only had a couple of 3-ball counts in the game.
Base hit for Jordan Pacheco to lead off the 8th. Hey fans, it's not too late to get tickets for this Saturday's game, 7-10 against the Mets. It's a bobblehead night. The first 20,000 fans who come into the ballpark get the Tony La Russa bobblehead, courtesy of Chevrolet. Get your tickets now at dbacks.com. The chief baseball officer has got a bobblehead down there taking his notes, as he always does. Ender Inciarte now, top of the order. Ender 0 for 2, had an RBI sac fly his last time up. He's got a base hit here, he knocks it into right. And the Braves bullpen will get busy.
Make a trip out to the mound here, stall for a little bit of time, let that bullpen get going down there.
So Kinniff warming up with a right-hander. He's a guy they liked a lot. The bullpen has not been great for Atlanta this year, but Brandon Kinniff is a guy that they think can be a part of the future.
We were hoping the bullpen would have to get involved much earlier in this ball game. They've really had some issues, especially with those guys in middle relief. But Alex Wood has been up to the task tonight, pitching into the 8th inning here.
Well, A.J. Pollock a chance to get some runs on the board here and try and get back in this thing. A.J. 1 for 3. He singled and stole a base back in the first. Pacheco at second and Inciarte at first. And one of the Diamondbacks' hottest hitters up at the plate, hitting left-hand pitching this year at a 390 clip. It's AJ. And that pinch hit home run he hit in Miami back on May 18th really seems to have ignited his bat the last couple of weeks. Look at these numbers since that home run. Remember, it broke a 2-2 tie, 8th inning. And the Diamondbacks had a win at Marlins Park, 408. 8 extra base hits during that stretch. He's also stolen 6 bases in 7 attempts. 2 balls, no strikes. AJ, big game yesterday in Milwaukee. 3 hits, a couple of walks. He was on base all day. Kaczynski hangs on, 2-2.
I really like the way AJ this season, not only in his hot streak recently, but when he gets counts in his favor, he's really letting it go. He's not just looking to punch the ball into play somewhere. He's swinging to do some damage and drive the ball into the gaps and out of the ballpark. Now with a 2-strike count, he might be shortened up a little bit, just try to put the ball in play, but that 2-0 swing was a good one.
He's slugging over 460 this year. We've often said that he looks like he could definitely be a middle of the order run producing bat. He's great up top, first or second, but it seems like he's got enough line drives in there to hit anywhere you want, third, fourth, fifth. Although they got a pretty good number 3 hitter right there.
Yeah, 3 is pretty well taken. Get on base right now ahead of that guy.
2-2 pitch. It's full. The 5th inning is when the Diamondbacks scored their lone run so far. Other than that, Alex Wood has been very efficient.
Yeah, 108, the highest pitch total this season for Alex Wood.
3-2. There's 1. And there's 2. He was so close to the bag, I thought maybe he tries for the triple play, but he'll settle for 2.
Very close over there at first base, but Uribe always seems to know exactly how much time he has to make a play, and that time had just enough time to complete the double play.
So Inciarte is at second, quickly 2 down for Goldie.
You know, if this was a tie ball game or the Diamondbacks were within a run, he wouldn't see anything here. They'd just walk him and go to work on Mark Trumbo. But with a 7-1 lead in the 8th inning, they're going to go after it. Carefully, but they're going to go after it.
Freddie Gonzalez. Braves finishing up a long West Coast road trip. They lost 2 of 3 at Dodger Stadium. They split 4 in San Francisco, and they finished with 3 games here against the Diamondbacks. 1-1. Anderson Ford bullpen. Randall Delgado. Randall did not pitch in Milwaukee yesterday. Center field, Cunningham. Another fly ball out ends the 8th for Alex Wood. Diamondbacks trail it 7-1. 5 earned on 8 hits in 5 innings. Atlanta got 3 in the second against Archie, and then they added 2 more in the 5th. Freddie Freeman now with an 11-game hitting streak against the Diamondbacks, and he blasted his 8th of the year. And that made it 5-0 Atlanta at the time, and Alex Wood has done more than enough to make that stand.
Hasn't walked any batters. We mentioned only 2 3-ball counts in the entire game for Alex Wood.
And Freeman leads off the 9th against the new Diamondback pitcher. It's Randall Delgado. His 21st appearance of the year, a 3.55 ERA. Freeman has homered, single. He's got 3 RBIs.
See Josh Coleman. I think he's just throwing a side session here. Sometimes when your bullpen gets a little ragged, a little tired, the guys whose day it is to throw on the side, you hold off until late in the ball game. Although Josh is supposed to start tomorrow, so I'm not sure exactly why he's playing catch right now.
Yeah, tomorrow it's Josh Comenter versus Shelby Miller. There was the game in San Francisco very early in the year, middle of April, when the Diamondbacks, playing an extra inning game, ran through their entire bullpen. Comenter was supposed to start the next day and was warming up in the Diamondback bullpen. Did not have to come into the ball game, fortunately, and then went out the next night and pitched an absolute gem. 2-2 on Freeman. Away from the shift, reaches down and just does get a piece of it. Very well played down there by Ernie Ned. There's Josh in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. From the shift and into fair territory. Freddie Freeman 3 for 5. You know, Bob, it's interesting to hear Chip Hale talk about checking in with Mike Harkey about the pitchers, and Chip will often comment, I talked to Mike and I asked him, how's this guy feeling, how's this guy doing. Hark sort of takes everybody's temperature, it seems, and then Chip, as the manager, sort of checks with him. Is that the way that works?
It's usually the chain of command. Yeah, the relief pitchers get to the ballpark and go out and do their stretching and their running and what have you, and at some point they play catch. Just like you would in the backyard. Just play catch to see how everything feels. Do I have any sore spots? Is my arm okay? Is my back okay? Are my legs okay? And then the relief pitchers will let Mike Harkey know, yeah, I'm fine. I can go an inning, 2 innings, 3 innings, whatever the case may be, or I can come in and get a hitter for you if that's what you need. Just kind of take the temperature of that bullpen and see how many innings, if needed, you can get out of each guy.
Nick Markakis 2 for 4.
Just a little tune-up for Josh. Didn't throw many pitches down there. Never got up to 100%.
Got the bullpen catcher Mark Reed down there working with him. Maybe just some fine-tuning heading into tomorrow night. And it's also been interesting to hear Chip talk about, he's got to learn his new players here. First year, he was not here, obviously, last season. So he will often check with Harkey. How many pitches does this guy need to warm up? And how hot, how long do I have to wait to get this guy hot? And that kind of a thing.
That's valuable information to have, yeah. You get in a jam sometimes that boils up quickly. And many times you'll go to the guy who can get ready the quickest in the bullpen. Might not be the exact matchup you want, but if you need to get that pitcher that's in the game out of there and you need to get somebody warmed up quickly, that can be the determining factor sometimes. I mean, Mike Myers, our sidearm lefty we had here in Arizona, he told me that if you go to the mound, if you call the bullpen, by the time you get to the mound, I'll be ready. He says, because I get 8 pitches out there on the mound, I can throw 5, 6, 7, 8 down here in the bullpen while you're walking out to the mound rapid fire. And by the time we called for the bullpen, he was ready to go. Other guys, you better plan ahead. Give them a couple of innings to warm up.
Well, we'll talk a lot more about this in our broadcast on Friday night for you here on Fox Sports Arizona as we do a Baseball in Focus show focusing on the bullpen and how all that stuff works. And there's a lot involved. That one goes under the glove of Goldie, and it's just been that kind of a night. All the away deep into the right field corner. Freeman will stop at third. And Markakis is in at second. Well, if there's a play that sums up this ball game, it's this one right here.
Like that ball hit close to the cut of the grass right there in front of Goldie and stayed down a little bit. You rarely see anything get underneath Paul Goldschmidt at first base, but I think you're right. Just one of those nights. Every bounce is going the way of the Braves, and Diamondbacks just not in sync with this game.
E3, you don't see a whole lot of those around here. And we'll get a pinch runner now for Markakis.
It's Goldie's first error of the season.
Eric Young Jr. Former Rocky and Met.
Number 4, Eric Young Jr.
will run for Markakis. Juan Uribe. Mentioned the Dodgers are still going to go forward with their Juan Uribe bobblehead day, so that should be interesting. Yes, he went, says Jim Reynolds. July 11th is Juan Uribe bobblehead day at Dodger Stadium. The second awkward moment in his trade from the Dodgers to Atlanta. The first came the day he was dealt. They were actually playing each other in LA, so Uribe just had to walk to the other side of the field after he was traded to the Braves. And when they got there, they had a jersey ready for him, all that stuff. Well, you know, they stick the names and the letters and the numbers on the back with adhesive, but because the trade happened so quickly and he made his way over there so fast, it didn't dry, and the letters on his name started falling off his jersey. That's a little awkward. Two and one.
And what do you make of this, partner? This is one for the fans out there as well.
He thinks he's a pitcher, Cliff Pennington. Cliff Pennington, every time they warm him, you mentioned guys just, you know, playing catch, warming up. It's not just the pitchers, it's the infielders as well. And Pennington, for a long time, has wanted to pitch, and he works on his knuckleball constantly. So maybe we get that bottom top 9 here if this inning just keeps going. Gracie did it once, of course. Nick Almeida knocks it down, can't make the play. Freeman scores, and it's 8-1. That's a base hit and an RBI for Uribe.
I was going to ask you, what do you make of this? Randall Delgado against Juan Uribe. Before that at bat, Uribe was 6 for 11 lifetime with 2 home runs against Randall Delgado. However, the 6 hits came in a row. 2 singles, 2 homers, 2 more singles. In his last 4 at bats, he had struck out 3 times against Randall Delgado. But gets an infield hit that time, driving that ball in the hole between third and short.
No advance from EY Jr. at second. Uribe aboard at first now. Still nobody out. And if this keeps going, you're going to need Cliff Pennington. 17 innings in Milwaukee yesterday. Diamondbacks used 7 pitchers. Nuno greatly helped things out when he went 5 1/3, but you don't want to have to use Ramirez, who threw 31 pitches yesterday. Hudson 24 pitches. Chafin 29. The bullpen, as you can see here, has been taxed anyway, but after that 5-hour and 49-minute game yesterday at Miller Park, you don't want to have to go to another pitcher if Randall continues to struggle. He is still yet to retire a batter in this inning.
Good change up that time, getting Przinsky way out in front. Well, you can throw that behind in the count. You can pitch in the big leagues. 2-0, 3-1, throw a change up, throw a breaking ball for a strike. Just avoid those fastball counts, predictable fastball counts.
Yes, he went. Paul Schreiber down at third. And it's 2-2. I'm looking through the minor league stuff on Cliff Pennington. He's never pitched, apparently, as far as I can tell here online, in a minor league game. He never pitched in the big leagues, but it looks like he's ready. The question is, are the rest of us? 2-2. Got him. AJ not happy with himself there. First out for Delgado in the ninth.
You know, most of these guys at this level were pitchers, you know, when they were in Little League and in high school. Most of them played positions, but they were pitchers first. And then they gravitated towards other positions as they got into higher levels of competition, which was why I was so surprised with Mark Grace that he had never pitched. He said he never pitched in Little League. He never pitched in American Legion, not in high school, not in college. So I felt it necessary to send him out there to the mound.
I'll make him a more complete player. Johnny Gomes. Gomes doubled and scored back in the second. He's 1 for 4. And Mark Reed, the bullpen catcher, does not look too impressed. He looks a little nervous, frankly. Look at Reeder. He's bent over there. I need a moment.
He's exhausted after warming up all those pitchers in the 17-inning game yesterday.
No one had a longer day than Mark Reed yesterday. You're right about that. There's a strike. It's in there at 97, 1-2 now. Well, as they say on a popular TV show right now, the night is dark and full of terrors. And it's been that way for the Diamondbacks here tonight. Here's the strikeout. So Delgado strikes out Przinsky, strikes out Gomes, and will we see Pennington? A look to the dugouts. There is terrible news on Tuffy Gozawish. It is a full tear of the ACL in his left knee. He is expected to have surgery soon. His season is over.
Just horrible news for everything Tuffy has gone through over the course of his career just to get to the major leagues and earn the starting job in spring training. To have this happen on such a freak play down there at first base trying to avoid a tag.
He was seen tonight by the Diamondbacks chief orthopedic surgeon. And it was determined that Tuffy suffered on this play in St. Louis a full tear of his left ACL, and surgery has been scheduled soon. Todd Cunningham. And Chip Hale said after Tuffy was injured that Jared Saltalamacchia, who's behind the plate right now, will get the bulk of the work as the catcher. He is, after all, a switch hitter. They've got Jordan Pacheco. Peter O'Brien apparently determined in Reno over the weekend that he does not want to be a catcher anymore, that he wants to be an outfielder full time. Oscar Hernandez is still coming back from that hamate bone surgery in his hand. And so the catching situation here, organizationally, not just at the big league level, is a bit muddled right now.
It seems kind of odd timing for Mr. O'Brien to decide that he doesn't want to be a catcher right now when the Diamondbacks have a screaming need for catching help.
Especially after he worked so hard with Glenn Sherlock all winter long, all spring long on his catching. And he developed that throwing issue during spring training, and they put him in the outfield for a while. They wanted him to play the outfield in Reno, at least to start, just kind of get away from it all, clear his head, hit the reset button. And then he was worked back into the catching situation. There was a point at which he and Saltalamacchia were sort of alternating the catching duties for Phil Nevin in Reno. But Peter O'Brien apparently over the weekend told the club he doesn't want to catch anymore. And the Diamondbacks have gone along with that. Not going to make him catch. But considering the catching situation here with Tuffy Gozawish now out for the year, You would think that the light would go on there, and hey, there's a path to the big leagues here. If I can figure out this catching stuff quickly, there might be an opening in the major leagues for me. But Peter has decided instead he'd like to concentrate on playing outfield. Number that Delgado pounces on, and the out springs Cunningham to the bag. And so we won't see Cliff Pennington pitching debut as we go to the bottom of the ninth. He was ready, but it's 8-1. The Cox Gig Life high-speed highlights, and here we go with Trevor Cahill on the mound at Chase Field. He will pitch the ninth inning in relief of Alex Wood, who was terrific. Went 8 innings, gave up just 1 run, 7 hits. The numbers on Cahill this season. The ERA over 7.5, his 13th appearance.
One of our keys to the game was try to get into the bullpen early, open that door as Eric Young Jr. takes over in left field. Johnny Gomes moves from left to right. We hoped that bullpen door would open a lot earlier, because this Atlanta bullpen has been banged up since May 27th. They are either last or next to the last in just about every possible category.
Big cut there for Mark Trumbo. 2-2 as he leads off the ninth. Mark is 0 for 3 so far. And he strikes out looking against Trevor Cahill. Well, our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play of the game. Not a whole lot to choose from in an 8-1 ball game. So we're going to a donor. Shane Doan, the Coyote star, out to throw our first pitch to Patrick Corbin. And there he is, Shane Doan, our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play of the game. And a big day for Patrick today, who pitched just under 4 innings in an extended spring training game against the Rockies at Salt River Fields and got the win. He struck out 8. Gave up only 2 hits. Looked terrific.
Good news.
Jake Lamb played third base in that game and went 1 for 4 with a triple. Aaron Hill lifts this out to right center field. Cunningham can really go get it. And he runs that one down for the second out. It's Jake Lamb and Patrick Corbin play an extended spring game in the afternoon. They come over here and watch their teammates at nights. That's the way it goes. I hope they'll both be back soon. 2 down for Saltalamacchia, who doubled and scored back in the 5th. 1 for 3. Same two teams tomorrow. Diamondback Live pregame show comes your way at 6 o'clock on Fox Sports Arizona. Josh Colmenter for the D-backs and the red-hot Shelby Miller for the Braves, who almost threw a no-hitter the last month at Miami. And he's been terrific. 5-2, a 1.48 ERA. Freeman at first. He's got it. And the Diamondbacks lose the opener of this three-game series, 8-1.
Yeah, this is when you just hit the showers, wash it off, come back tomorrow fresh, and